Alright, so welcome back to video 3. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can finish off this. So far we've got this. First of all, I'm going to do column 1. So this is column 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background to white. So that is the place we're working on. And I'm also just going to grab some text to put in here. This is some of the text I've just grabbed before or just sort of produced. I'm just going to put that in and I'm just going to pop that into the P tag there. So I don't want it all to be in one, so I'm just going to sort of split that. I'm just going to, so then I will have a break in the text. I think I explained that earlier. So where we got, oh yeah, we're missing a P there. Okay, so that should be fine. Why is that coming up with that? Tag's missing the P, so P, and then, okay, let's go to try and get it right the first time. There we go. So that is my bit of text for the left hand side. Let's just go and check how that looks. And that is my bit there. If I want it to be left, I can align that left or I can keep it centered. I might just change um, the heading there just to say welcome. Okay. And again, that is that done. Okay, so there you can see there that is all something is there. Now what we're going to do is column 2. Okay, again into column 2, I'm just going to change the background to white again. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that text and I'm just going to put in image, img, c equals, and then I'm going to browse for my image. And I think the one I'm wanting is, it's called bouquet, I think. Or bouquets of flowers, I think it's that one. Okay, and then I'll just choose my alt text, which is for the screen readers. And then after that, I'm just going to close the tag. Okay, so what I'm going to do there is you can see when I roll that over, I can see that, and you can see it's 225 by 225. Okay, let's just go and check how that is. Now, what I've done with all my images is I've actually sort of resized them before I put them in, so that's why they kind of fit. But if I wanted that slightly bigger, okay, what I could do is I could change the width and the height. So if I wanted to say, and you can force that within the code. It's actually not a great thing to do, but I'm just going to show you that you can do it. Okay, so instead of it being the original size of 225 by 225 pixels, now what we're doing is we're forcing it to be slightly bigger. Okay, and when you're doing your images, you can force them all to be like the same height and width, but ideally what you want to do is just basically crop them in Photoshop to be resized. Let me go and show you what I've done there. You can see that it should be slightly bigger than before. There you go, so it is slightly bigger, you can see. All right, so again, this is where you have to kind of be aware that, you know, if you don't want it to be that your original size, you can force it. I'm just going to sort of, I'll leave it in for now, okay, just so we've got that there. Now what we can do is we can test it, and you can see that that collapses underneath. So that is nearly done. Okay, the last couple of things we need to do is, as I said previously, in our main we had this red background, so we're just going to change that red background finally to our white. And also I'm going to get rid of the borders around everything as well, because I don't like them. Okay, so I've just basically got rid of the borders around the main area and I've changed the background to a white colour, and you'll see the difference. There you go. So that is it really. You can see that I've got everything done, and when it rolls it kind of comes across. I've got my about page. Okay, that one is my products page, and you can see then that I've got my contact page. So you can see everything is centered apart from my home page. Oh, is that gone centered now? It looks centered. Okay, so this text is centered. Uh, so we've got this nice consistency throughout, um, which you can change, but I think it looks all right. As long as it's consistent and it's got good contrast and your images are sharp, as we talked about in our principles. As long as it's working and it's flexible, you'll get your grades. Okay, so when I actually look at that, I do think that's slightly too big now. So again, I'm going to go back into my bouquet of flowers, which we just talked about, and I'm just going to change that. I'll change it to 250. What I should really do is not do this. I should go and resize it with Photoshop, the images, and then it's in there as its natural um, size. But there we go. So that is more or less everything that you need to do for this assignment. So if you can do that, and you've got a website that looks like this, that's brilliant. And then, yeah, you're done. All you need to do then is to think about your own business and change the content to reflect your business. And your obviously your text should be about yours. Where your business is should be reflect that on the map. Your address should be that as well. So, and your title, your logo, um, your products will be different as well, obviously, and all this stuff. Also, all your content should be about yours, but you should end up with a reasonable website which will enable you to pass